been a week since I've harvested honey. Our nectar flow starts the beginning of April, the first or second week of April, and usually ends middle to end of May. It's the beginning of June now, and I've pulled all my honey supers off of all my colonies, so they're either in singles or doubles right now. But during the honey flow, I generally abandon checking the state of the colony, and I just let them pack in honey. It's been maybe a month and a half or 2 months since I've checked. It's very likely that several have swarmed, and some of the queens were unsuccessful in their mating flights and never made it back. Some colonies we see a lot of activity like this, and other colonies not so much. But we really can't tell by just looking at the front of the colony at the activity. What we need to do is we need to go in, we need to look to see if there are eggs and larvae and brood, or if they're queenless. Let's get started. The bees right now are generally agitated. There's no nectar flow happening, and they're very protective of what they currently have. So first off, we've got a good frame of honey so far, so it doesn't look like they're doing poorly as far as food stores go. Good brood, so I can see there's queen activity, there's eggs and larvae down in there. So there's a lot of drones on that. Hopefully we'll see one with workers. Yeah, here we go. There's the worker. It's a bit of a shotgun pattern though. There's a lot of missing spaces in here. She may be an older queen, but I do see eggs and larvae in here. I'll just have a quick look at one more frame. But I believe this colony to be queen ripe, and that's really all I need to know, other than that they also have decent food stores for the next couple weeks or two. Oh, and there she is, a red dot. She'll be replaced in a month or two with a new queen. But that's all I really need to see. I did have a few colonies that weren't doing so hot. As you can see here, the activity in the front looks okay, but when I went in and inspected, they were queenless. There was no egg, no larva, no brood. Out of the 38 colonies that I have in this bee yard, I have 3 that have their lids upside down. That's not too bad. I'll just redistribute those resource frames to some of these other colonies. This colony had a new queen. She was laying strong, but they haven't really had time to build up. So I only donated a few frames to them for them to expand into. They were not strong enough to expand into a second box yet. This colony, on the other hand, was very strong, and I was able to combine an entire box of resources along with the bees with it. This box of bees was equally strong and able to accept an entire box of bees and resources. The newspaper has been added to slowly introduce the bees in the top box to the bees in the bottom box. Hopefully after they chew through that newspaper, they'll all be one big happy family. They'll all be working for the same queen. Here's an empty spot where I pulled one of the failing colonies. The bees that are out foraging now will be coming back and they'll find that their colony is no longer here. But one of the reasons why I like the pallets and having the colonies so close to each other is that those foraging bees will simply beg their way into the one next to it, and they'll become part of that colony and part of the working force within that colony. This small bee yard didn't fare so well. Out of 9, I had 2 failures. Neither colony had queens, and one of them had already turned into a drone laying colony. This empty spot right here, I ended up combining it with that one. That's really strong and could use the extra space. And this colony that was right here in this space, it had a lot of drones. So I suspect one of the workers had become a drone layer. I've got the drone laying colony boxes in the back of my pickup truck, and I'm going to carry it over to another bee yard and distribute the resources to some other colonies. Here's a new bee yard that I just established about 2 weeks ago. There'll be pumpkins planted out here, so they're going to help with pumpkin pollination. Most of these bees are either from a swarm or a split, a spring split. They're growing pretty well. You can see the box with the double. That is one of the boxes that I donated from one of the failed colonies earlier. And the rest of the colonies, they were a little light on their food stores. So I distributed 1 to 2 honey frames to each of the boxes to boost them up just a little bit. What I really should do for these bees is mix up some sugar water and come out and give them some feed. Overall, everybody's looking pretty good. Good food stores, healthy queens, and I've left myself some notes on the top of the lids. So on the 2nd of the month, I've got ELB, egg larva brood. So that lets me know that that's what I've seen in that colony. And a check mark that overall they're doing pretty good. These colonies are looking great. Some are stronger than others. All of these should provide ample resources within a couple weeks when I do my summer splits. My goal over the last couple months has been just to produce honey. My goal over the next couple months is to produce bees.